Hello, salutations. What it do? It's Sadot the Gamer, all father Durag game. No vibes, like, subscribe. Let's get it. Welcome, Durag Nation. I'm back again, broadcasting live from the Durag Cave for a special stream. This is a follow-up, actually, to a video that I made several weeks ago. Let me adjust that real quick. There we go. It's almost that time. It is State of Play season. It's a general gaming showcase season already. We just had the Xbox showcase. We got Nintendo Direct dropping next month. But we also got the PlayStation showcase. I reported this a couple weeks ago. Shout out to the homie Jeff Grubb. Let us know there is a State of Play coming in the next few weeks. And I told y'all I was going to circle the 25th on my calendar. Because looking at the schedule, if there's a State of Play in the next few weeks, it's most likely got to be either this week or next week. Because they gotta make sure that they have the State of Play out before Helldivers 2 drops. And when it comes to State of Plays, Sony typically announces it either the day before or like a couple of days before. So the last State of Play that I told y'all was going to happen, that did happen, of course, was in September. And they announced that on Wednesday. And then the next day, they had the State of Play. And that's where they had this surprise Spider-Man 2 showcase with the digital deluxe trailer and the open world breakdown video by Brian Intihar. So today, if there's the State of Play tomorrow, we should be getting an announcement sometime in the next couple hours. You see, I got the PlayStation Twitter page pulled up. It's on the monitor. I'm keeping an eye on it. And I'll be refreshing every once in a while. But first, how's everyone doing? Got Craig in the building. What's up, Craig? Totally cool person. I hope you're totally cool. What's up, Gaming Vids? What's up, Mike? Fire Dragon is down bad today. What's up, Cheesy? What's up, Steven? Bro wants a Baldur's Gate 3 Spider-Man game. So Spider Dog, where's Juan? Sup, IDK? Enigma, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of y'all. Welcome to my waiting room. I was gonna wait around anyway because I realized what day today was. I was like, oh, wait a minute. There might be a state of play announcement today. Let me get ready. So I started setting stuff up. Then I was like, well, I might as well just wait with everybody else. Just go live. So we're gonna hang out while we wait, talk about what to expect. And if they do drop the announcement, I'll react to it real quick, and then I'll end stream and then go work on my video. What's up, Isaiah? How you doing? Gurren Lagann. Excellent name for an amazing anime. You got 3 games on your brain other than Spider-Man 2. Are they Wolverine and Venom? Move the face cam down bad. Why would I move my face cam? My position is perfect where it is. What is a state of play? A state of play is a showcase where Sony, for about 40 minutes or so, shows off some of its first-party games, as well as some third-party games that are going to be coming to the platform. So right now, this is a waiting room. This is a waiting room stream for the announcement, because all I'm expecting, of course, is the announcement. Because I think the state of play is going to be either tomorrow or next week. But Jeff Grubb did confirm there is a state of play happening in the next few weeks, and he said that about three weeks ago is when he said that, I think. So for the state of play 2024, obviously they got to have Helldivers 2, because that game's coming out on the 8th of February, so they have to have that there because they're trying to drop some pre-orders. Rise of the Ronin comes out in March. They're going to want to promote that. Stellar Blade doesn't have a release date yet. It was delayed to 2024, and it was supposed to come out with Helldivers 2, but both of them got delayed to 2024. Helldivers got the release date. Stellar Blade hasn't yet, and we haven't really seen much. They did show some new gameplay this year, so I would expect them to have a release date at the State of Play. And then, of course, Spider-Man 2 has that New Game Plus update that they were originally going to drop last year, but they had to delay it. So I would expect a release date on that at the State of Play as well. I think people are wondering why I'm blocking Black Cat. I mean, she's just chilling in the background. Leave Black Cat alone. If you don't get anything Spider-Man, you'll jump out the window. Well, no need to go that far. But yeah, the odds of there not being any Spider-Man 2 at the State of Play is pretty much slim to none, I would say. You pre-order WWE 2K24. Oh, that's a thing? Oh. I'll definitely check that one out. Well, I'll check out Jay Shockblast streaming it. I like his Royal Rumble streams with all the mod characters. Those are fun. Wolverine gameplay possibly. I don't think so. I'm not expecting really any Wolverine after what happened. I'm not expecting really anything Wolverine related because I don't think that game. I think that game now is like 2 years away after what happened with the hack. Hold up. Will there be a Venom game announcement? That one is possible, but I would expect that at the PlayStation showcase and not at a state of play. A state of play, I feel like they would just do something where they'll focus on like some of the more upcoming games, you know, stuff that is coming like soon. Whereas the showcase is more like a, yeah, let's talk about stuff that's in the future. So that's why I could see them talking about Spider-Man 2 DLC, because I think this year they're going to have some DLC. And of course the New Game Plus update. But like a new game, unless it's coming out this year, I wouldn't expect it. So I think GTA 6 can live up to a hype. I mean, yeah, as much money as they spent on it, and the graphics look great, so I don't see why not. Imagine Insomniac said no DLC for Spider-Man 2. I highly doubt that. They gotta make sure that they break even. Unfortunately we know they were planning DLC, and they want to make sure that they, you know, get as much out of the game as they can, especially with how expensive it was to make. So they're definitely going to have DLC. What do you think Venom will look like in his new game? I imagine he's going to look similar, almost identical to the Venom that we saw in Spider-Man 2. Off to hospital. Hope everything works out for you, Enigma. I dropped something. I don't think I did. I don't have anything in my hand or on my desk. Only thing I have on my desk are my remotes and my normal PlayStation controller. My phone isn't with me, but I think that's on the charger. Sometimes it falls. Nope, pretty sure it's on the charger. I didn't put it in my pocket. Hey, Carnage DLC is, I think, 100% the last DLC. I think they'll do a storyline for Venom. So if they're doing a Venom game based on how it worked out in the main game, I feel like it would make sense to do a more familiar Venom story. Bring in Eddie Brock, who you already introduced. We already know he's in the game. He was introduced first in Spider-Man PS4. Do an Eddie Brock Venom. I mean, you could do a Flash Thompson. We know he's in the universe as well. And set him up as potentially maybe have him deal with potentially Null. They introduced Null in Spider-Man 2. They teased that. So maybe to, you know, up the stakes a bit, since Venom is going to be, you know, much stronger than like base Peter, you have like Null be the big threat of that Venom game. and Eddie Brock Venom be like the Lethal Protector. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. Congratulations. Drink responsibly. Yeah, the state of play is going to be the place where they would show DLC. They could still do it at the PlayStation Showcase, but either or would work. A new game, I say, would definitely be at a showcase, but state of play, I think that's when you can see like DLC and the new game plus announcement. It was so shocked to see that Noah Rock is Spider-Man 2. Yeah, that was a great throwback. That was a great reference. They have a lot of cool stuff they referenced in Spider-Man 2, showing like the greater Marvel lore. That would be interesting if they brought that in. I wonder if the threat of Null would finally get like Doctor Strange or some of the other Marvel characters in there. Is the state of play today. I'm expecting, the most I'm expecting today is an announcement. My prediction for the state of play was January 25th, or was it next week? February 1st. Yes, February 1st or the 25th. So if it's today, if it's the 25th, then the announcement should be happening sometime today. So they do, because Null is very OP. Oh yeah, yeah, that would be crazy. I would imagine a lot. They cut a lot of stuff, like a lot of stuff from Spider-Man 2, especially symbiote related. So they would naturally give us a lot more, like more enemies, a lot more attacks. There were a lot of attacks that were either added and cut, or it was on the concept room floor, didn't make it into the game. So they probably give us some of the attacks we got on the Venom level, but they would, just like every Spider-Man game, expand it, give us more and more abilities. Venom would be a bit different because he doesn't have gadgets. So they would probably lean more into giving him extra abilities to replace the gadget wheel. He would probably have like 2 ability wheels instead of an ability wheel and a gadget wheel. I think that would make more sense for Venom, because he doesn't need gadgets, doesn't use them. I told you Sony hasn't made a state of play announcement, and that is correct. They didn't. That's what the stream's for. I said in my video about 3 weeks ago that Jeff Grubb confirmed there's a state of play coming in the next few weeks. And I said, after looking at the calendar, I'm going to circle the 25th on my calendar. Tomorrow is the 25th. So I went live today, because if it is the 25th, then they're going to announce it today. Shout out to Isaiah. Happy birthday. You want Venom to be the game to be like Prototype Glory? I'm doing a stream. Exactly. I explained it. Agent Venom, alternative suit. Yeah, they pretty much made Harry Agent Venom. He pretty much got the Agent Venom suit, which was a cool little addition there. That was a nice Agent Venom suit they designed. You think Wolverine will have new abilities? What do you mean new abilities? You mean abilities that aren't part of his traditional character? What do you mean? Stuff that was near finished, nearly finished, were in the separation anxiety chapters, bosses. Oh, that's a leak. Think they're going to show off DLC. I would expect an announcement for the New Game Plus first and foremost, and then maybe a teaser of DLC later in the year. Can I speak about the leaked stuff? I'm not talking about any leaks that were gotten or showing any that were gotten from the hack, but I will speculate on what I would expect to see at a state of play and what DLC I would expect based on the actual game. Are you that out of touch with time? You thought Grub made that announcement last week? Oh, let me pull up my video that I made about it. Yeah, time can get spooky depending on what you're doing. Like, it is kind of crazy. It's already 2024 to me, at least, and we're almost in February. Hey, time is flying. It's almost time for Suicide Squad early access. Yeah, my state of play video on Jeff Grubb's report came out on the 10th, January 10th. And Jeff Grubb's podcast where he talked about it was the 9th. So yeah, you're way out of touch with time, buddy. Yeah, time threw you for a loop. Yeah, today is the 24th, so yeah. My video was on the 10th. Jeff Grubb's announcement was on the 9th. And he said it would be in the next couple weeks. he said, yeah, on the 9th is when he did that podcast where he announced the state of play, and he said he expects it in the next couple of weeks. So it has legit been a couple of weeks. That's why I had the 25th on my calendar, because it definitely lines up. Blackhead really ain't all that. That's cap. My first console was probably Sega Genesis. You can create your own character in the Power Rangers Jungle Fury open world action game. That's a thing. Yeah, Spider-Man 2 at the state of play. Mainly, I'm expecting the New Game Plus announcement. That's going to be, I think, the guarantee. DLC is possible in terms of the story DLC that we know they're planning, but definitely the New Game Plus, because they said that's coming early 2024, and I knew obviously that wouldn't be January for in all likelihood for that update. At the very least, I wasn't expecting to hear anything about it until like late January, but yeah, early 2024 for the New Game Plus update. So either they're dropping it at the end of this month, or sometime next month. I can see them doing that. What's up, CD8? You want Avalanche to make a Green Lantern game? That'd be interesting. They're definitely going to be working on a Hogwarts Legacy 2 first, though. That game made way too much money. Hope you get an Arkham Flash game. I do too. I just hope he has a different outfit, at least in base form. I don't like the Suicide Squad Flash outfit. There's Superman. I thought his suit is perfect. Batman's is perfect. Green Lantern's is perfect. I don't like Flash, and I don't like Wonder Woman's in that game. What do you expect to see from State of Play? Rise of the Ronin, Stellar Blade, Helldivers 2, Spider-Man 2, New Game Plus update. Those are my definite expectations. Gotta have it at the State of Play. Your boy's Isaiah's birthday. I did that earlier, but if you missed it, shout out to your boy. Happy birthday. Think the token face looks weird. When you think Spider-Man 2 story DLC going to come out? Probably late 2024. They always dropped the ball in the Flash's design in DC games. I didn't mind his Injustice suits. I thought he had some cool ones in there. All of them didn't hit, but there were a couple suits I thought looked good. This guy here, welcome to the waiting room. We are literally waiting. I'm waiting. And I just decided to let you all join me in waiting for the State of Play 2024 announcement that I'm expecting potentially to drop today. Jeff Grubb confirmed there is a State of Play coming in the next few weeks, and I think there's a good chance that that gets announced today. Shout out to your brother. He turned 1. He's definitely not going to acknowledge or remember this, but happy birthday to your 1-year-old brother. Hope he has many more. You want Wong or Dr. Strange to show up in DLC since he helped with Black Cat the Scepter. Yeah, that was probably one of the most exciting parts of the game. And we didn't even get to see either of them. We just got a letter. A vanishing letter. But yeah, I definitely want to see a crossover. I got to see a cameo at some point. What AAA DC game do I want next? I want them to hurry up and announce that damn Superman game. That's what I want them to do. Or whatever WB Games Montreal. WB Games Montreal has been going through so many games, bro. Like, they need to just finish a game. Like, they keep canceling games. They finally got out Gotham Knights, but they had so many DC games in development that they ended up canceling. We just found out about a new one just this past week. It's like, holy. The reason why Rocksteady is actually doing Suicide Squad right now is because WB Games Montreal canceled it. like that was originally going to be a WB Games Montreal product. They were setting up their whole Suicide Squad game in the Arkham Origins, but then they just canceled the project, and then Rocksteady ended up taking over. They've been working on unannounced open world DC game in Unreal 5 since like 2022, but they haven't announced it yet. Don't know what it is. Moon Knight game would be interesting. Yeah, the Wonder Woman game, we're still waiting for an update. That's the Monolith project. To this year, I think we're gonna get the Wonder Woman update, because I think that's coming out next year, but potentially still this year. I mean, Indiana Jones was a surprise. They announced the Indiana Jones game, I think the same year they announced the Wonder Woman game. The Wonder Woman game, I know the Wonder Woman game got the trailer at the 2021 Game Awards. I think they just announced the Indiana Jones game the same year. And then here we are in 2024. They give us a first look trailer that turns out to be like a full gameplay presentation with a release date of this year. So they might do the same thing with Wonder Woman. You know, it might be ready. We'll see. Deeper Depths, what's up, brother? Shout out to Deeper Depths. Definitely go subscribe. I just was lurking a little bit in your podcast last night. He had a former Rocksteady developer. He had Dell on, I think. He just was working with Naughty Dog on The Last of Us 2 Remastered. A really good conversation. You're buying a Wonder Woman game on launch day, probably in 2025. Oh, for sure. So I think Wolverine would have New Game Plus, definitely. Will it have it at launch? Probably not. That's pretty much becoming like a PlayStation tradition. It's going to launch without New Game Plus. People are going to complain about it not having New Game Plus. And then they're going to get it like a couple weeks later if nothing happens. They hear about the Michael Jackson movie. I heard about the Michael Jackson movie. I've been seeing nonstop ads for the Bob Marley movie. I don't know if I'm going to watch either of them. Imagine we get a Superman game before GTA 6. That's definitely not happening. But Mr. Sanchez, chilling. We're just waiting. I'm waiting. I think there's going to be a state of play announcement potentially today. So I'm just hanging out. Figured I was going to be waiting anyway. Might as well do it live with Durag Nation. Then I'll do my reaction. Then I'll make a video. And then we'll live stream the state of play whenever it happens. I think it's either tomorrow or next Thursday for the state of play. Unless they don't want to promote Helldivers 2. Am I excited for Daredevil Born Again? Not really. I'm cautiously optimistic. Like when I first heard about Daredevil Born Again, I was very skeptical. I was obviously happy that, Matt was back, but the more I heard about it, I was like, I mean, I don't know, it's Disney Plus, so probably going to be trash. and it was. It was exactly what we thought it was. But then surprisingly, they ended up scrapping like the entire thing, fired everybody except the main cast. And now all the stories we're hearing is that they're taking all the people from the original Daredevil Netflix show and just bringing them back. Like everybody, like Matt, Foggy, they're bringing everybody back. Deborah Ann Wolf is back. They're bringing back their Bullseye. They even bringing back the stunt coordinator. They're getting everybody back. They're not taking no chances now. It was like, were you on that? Were you on that Netflix? Did you work grip? Were you catering? Were you cleaning the bathrooms on set? We're bringing you back. Anybody associated with that Netflix Daredevil show is getting brought back for Born Again. What's up, Champagne? What's up, Michael? Welcome. Why I think of Echo? I thought it was hot trash. Well, not hot trash. I thought it was lukewarm dog water. It's like I felt nothing while watching it. I felt nothing when it was over. I felt like this is just a waste of content. What's up, Kate and Keith? Welcome. I'm expecting the state of play to either be tomorrow or next Thursday. Whenever it is, they got to have Helldivers 2. They got to have Rise of the Ronin. Definitely got to have Stellar Blade, and they definitely got to have the Spider-Man 2 New Game Plus update. Those are like the bare minimums. You're from Earth 42. Congratulations. Moving between dimensions is definitely no easy feat. Kung Fu. I actually love the Kung Fu Panda series, but I don't know if this is a sequel where it's like, oh, we have a really cool idea for a fourth movie, or it's more one of those sequels where it's like, well, we don't have anything else. So we can probably squeeze a little bit more cash out of this property. Which is definitely what the new Toy Story is. And the new Frozen. Disney's like, yeah, we're desperate. we need a win here. We need a movie that doesn't flop. Let's go back to the well. Straight up sequels. New Frozen, new Inside Out, new Toy Story. Go back to the well. Go back to the well till the runs dry. Where do you put your 19 inches? Directly on the like button. What was that one called? Samurai game they called? Phantom Blade Zero. That was at the PlayStation Showcase. Actually, speaking of, I thought that game was a while away, and I don't know when, but that might also pop up at a State of Play. Because they announced that Phantom Blade Zero is actually getting a demo this year. Like, they're actually dropping a demo of Phantom Blade Zero this year. When they didn't have a release window, I thought, oh, this game is probably like 3 years away or something. But then they announced they're doing a demo of it this year. So when they do the State of Play, they might have Phantom Blade Zero there. It might have that demo. Because, you know, they do that sometimes. They'll be like, hey, this new game, we're dropping a demo for it. You can download it right now, or, you know, as soon as the show's over, you know, one of those things. So it might be one of those deals where they announce the demo is live during the State of Play. That's usually how they do these demos these days. They'll have them at an actual showcase, and then they'll say, download it right now. Which would be dope, because I cannot wait to play that game. That looks amazing. Is a State of Play soon? There is. Jeff Grubb confirmed it. We're getting a State of Play in the next few weeks. He announced that on January 9th. So we're expecting it. I'm expecting a State of Play either tomorrow or next Thursday. So I'm just here waiting for the announcement. What is my prediction for the ending Suicide Squad? I think Thanos is going to step through a portal. The Avengers are going to come in from a different portal. They're all going to team up, and they're going to fight Thanos and Brainiac together. When do I expect Spider-Man 4? Last I heard, maybe 2026, 27. It said a time demo of Phantom Blade is coming. It's not a time demo if you create alternative accounts. This is true. What's up, Sean? I've been chilling. How you been? Regardless of how much time we have, I'm definitely looking forward to playing it. Because just looking at that combat, it looks obviously incredible, but I'm wondering how like it works in terms of like gameplay. Because the choreography, the speed, it looked cinematic. So I'm wondering if these are like actual moves. Is that like actual things you can do, or is it like kind of a takedown or something? I want to see what that looks like in practice. What's this for? This is the PlayStation State of Play 2024 announcement waiting room. It is a waiting room for the announcement that I am waiting for. Do you think there will ever be a DC Marvel mashup movie? Never say never, but highly unlikely. Am I hyped for Deadpool 3? That's pretty much the only Marvel movie I have any, or a project in general, I have any real confidence in. That's why I'm trying to avoid all the leaks and stuff for Deadpool 3. Because I think that's going to be the only like really good Marvel project anytime soon. It looks like Ryan Reynolds was allowed to do his thing. They're going to have all the cameos, a lot of fan service. I think that's going to be a bright spot. Hopefully they can build off of that momentum. But yeah, they definitely need that one to do like at least $1 billion. If Deadpool 3 doesn't do $1 billion, the MCU is cooked. So I think Willem Dafoe will come back to voice Green Goblin for Spider-Man 3. What the video game? No, they already have a Norman Osborn in Insomniac. Only Marvel movies you personally care for right now is Armor Wars and Deadpool 3. I don't believe Armor Wars is a thing. I don't think Armor Wars is real. I don't have faith in it anyway because, you know, Robert Downey Jr. is not going to be in it. I don't think that's a real movie. I don't think it was a real project when they announced it. I think they just threw that out there because the shareholders needed to see that they had projects coming up, and now people are trying to hold them to it. So they're just like, all right, fine, we'll throw something together. Cook more like burnt. Will we get a Peacemaker trailer for Mortal Kombat? I mean, good for them. I completely checked out of Mortal Kombat before launch. Armor Wars is a conspiracy at this point. Pretty much. It was supposed to be a show. It was supposed to be a movie. I don't believe it. I'll believe it when I see a trailer. Who was the actor for Spider-Man 4? Tom Holland. What Power Ranger would I be? I would be the Do-Rag Ranger. because the do-rag gives me an advantage over the other Rangers. The Spider-Man 3 storyline is centered around a couple things. The introduction of the new spider hero, Cindy Moon. There's going to be the the use of the Goblin Serum, which has been finalized and is going to be used on Harry to try to get him out the coma. Meanwhile, Dr. Octavius has his final chapter plan, which is going to be a heavily modified, has to be, version from the comics, but he's hatching some kind of plan from prison. Norman presumably will somehow end up Green Goblin. They could still bring back Carnage. Chameleon could be involved. He was set up in Spider-Man 2. Will Silk have her pheromone powers? Absolutely not. Insomniac are not about to put that in the game. There's no way. Absolutely not a chance. I think they're going to try to make Silk Spider as wholesome as possible. There's absolutely no way they're going to have that anywhere near this game. Unfortunately, they don't announce state of plays at any set times. I know the last time they announced the state of play in September, it was like around noon. They've announced state of plays at 5 before. So it's up to whoever's running the Sony socials when they go live with a state of play announcement. But I figure I can at least hang around until at least like 2 o'clock or something. Just to cover my bases. Peter and Miles will definitely not have anything remotely romantic involved with Silk. I mean, maybe Miles, because they made Silk his age, but it's not going to be because of her pheromone powers. I kind of also don't see them getting rid of Miles' girlfriend either. I think they're just going to make Cindy a strong, independent woman that don't need no man. They're not going to have Miles. I don't think they're going to have Miles dump Haley as soon as they get together. I mean, she even got her own side mission. They're not about to kick Haley to the curb. I think Miles and Peter are just going to be mentors for Cindy. And that's going to be the extent of it. DLC today? Definitely not. I don't see that happening. Now, if they have the state of play tomorrow, I can see them announcing the DLC tomorrow. But the first Spider-Man 2 update that's coming is going to be that New Game Plus update. That's going to be the first thing that comes out. They could announce the DLC and say it's coming later in the year. But in terms of releasing, it's going to be the New Game Plus. Is there new content? Yes. They confirmed last year that they're going to have a big update for Spider-Man 2 It's going to add a bunch of fan requested features, new game plus, mission select, changing time of day, changing the color of the symbiote tendrils, a bunch of different stuff. There might be some new skins as well. We know they did that collaboration with Kid Super, where they designed some new Spider-Man and Miles outfits. That big update was supposed to come out last year. They delayed it, said they were adding new stuff to it, and it was going to release in early 2024. What are the odds of the reveal of WB Montreal's project at this state of play? I would say 0.5%. New Game Plus, I would not expect that today. No. But if the state of play is tomorrow, I would expect the announcement tomorrow. Till Spider-Man 2 update drops, Suicide Squad will suffice. Definitely. That's in 6 days. Early access. Only thing I expect today is an announcement. That's it. All I'm expecting is an announcement. Anything else is a bonus. Yeah, like a unannounced DC game. A DC game, I feel like that would be like probably that feels like a Summer Game Fest, Game Awards type of thing. Maybe Comic-Con. I was getting a DM about the state of play. Release date. Oh, Jon Stewart's back for the Daily Show. This felt inevitable. Congratulations, Insomniac, winner of Best Representation for the portrayal of Haley in Spider-Man 2 at the Game Accessibility Conference. Shout out to Insomniac. Yeah, Miles is definitely not breaking up with Haley. Where's the waiting room? You're in the waiting room. Literally, you're in the waiting room. That's what the stream is. Stay of play, definitely not today. I'm waiting for an announcement. Silk and Genki, what about him? You hurt when they leaked Wolverine. Stole Wolverine. That was pure theft. They stole everything. An actual build of the game, all the plot details, the cast list. That was insane. I was so excited for a Wolverine reveal, like a proper one this year, and that got completely ruined. There's always going to be more Batman games. James Gunn already confirmed that they're planning to make new Arkham games. In general, he's going to have more AAA DC games. We know that he's going to have his own Batman in the DCU. There's only a matter of time before we have another Batman game. That's definitely inevitable. State of play is definitely not today. I'm just waiting for a potential announcement. Yeah, they already confirmed new skins for Spider-Man 2. Now, people don't like those skins, but they confirmed them a while ago. I think people were hoping they have even more skins, like of the fan requested variety. But yeah, I've yet to see anyone excited about any of the Kid Super skins. There's like one, I think the leather jacket one might be okay. I gotta see what it looks like in game. Playing Superman Returns is how bad, man. I can't play Superman Returns. I don't think I have a way to play it. I would definitely play it if I could. Is it on Game Pass? If it's on Game Pass, I'm buying an Xbox like right now. You can still try a demo of it? Because I was already considering getting an Xbox because of Power World and the fact that I could replay Fable 2. But if I could play Superman Returns on there too, yeah, I might have to grab that. What's my Super Bowl there? I don't care at all about the Super Bowl. I don't even know who's in the Super Bowl, bro. I don't watch football. I only follow the NBA. I don't care about the NFL at all. Don't literally the only thing that I know about the Super Bowl is that it's supposed to have the premiere of the Deadpool 3 trailer. That's literally the only thing I know about this year's Super Bowl, that we might see the first trailer for Deadpool 3. I don't know anything else about it. Yeah, I don't have Superman Returns in the PlayStation Store. That sucks. I'm riding with the Miami Heat. That's my squad. No state play today. This is a waiting room stream for a potential announcement. I'm just waiting to hear a potential announcement of the state of play. I am not expecting the actual state of play. What do you think will be the next Lego game? I know what the next Lego game, so I can't say anything about it. I guess I could give you a guess of something that is definitely not, just for fun. Let's say I think the next one is going to be Lego OnlyFans. You get to simulate life as a content creator, but for Lego. Bear teams the Denver Nuggets. Boo. No, I'm kidding. I like Jokic. What games you want shown at the state of play? I mainly want to see Spider-Man 2. That goes without saying. But Stellar Blade needs an update, and I want to see more Rise of the Ronin, and a little more Helldivers too. Also, so my full slate of state of play stuff that I would expect from a proper state of play for 2024. Spider-Man 2 New Game Plus announcement. Bonus, potentially Spider-Man 2 DLC announcement. But definitely Spider-Man 2 state of play, New Game Plus, release date, boom, boom, boom. Helldivers 2 promo because it's coming out on February 8th. Stellar Blade release date, since it still doesn't have one. Maybe some promo for Foam Stars, because that's coming out next month. Rise of the Ronin, some promo for that's coming out in March. Some Final Fantasy Rebirth promotion, potentially even a demo, because that's coming out at the end of next month. Maybe Phantom Blade Zero demo. They said that demo's coming this year. And Ghost of Tsushima PC, because that's supposed to come out this year. It's been a long time coming. Fans have been waiting for that PC port of Ghost of Tsushima, and it's supposed to be this year. So state of play, Ghost of Tsushima PC announcement. Ghost of Tsushima 2 probably gets saved for PlayStation Showcase, but state of play, I could definitely see them doing the announcement for the PC. No one cares about Phantom Blade. That's 100% a lie. You're literally, you have to actually have dumped your head under a mountain of sand to think that. I was literally streaming the PlayStation Showcase. I was there live when Phantom Blade Zero. First of all, we literally had someone ask about Phantom Blade Zero in the chat earlier, unprompted. But I was live watching. Hundreds of people were watching my stream with me at one time. Every single person except a few Xbox players were going crazy. The reaction videos the next day were going crazy. There were people arguing that Phantom Blade Zero had the best presentation, period, including Spider-Man 2. That's absolute cap. What's up, Avery? Welcome back. You know what we need to do? We need to normalize saying, I don't care about a specific thing. It's becoming way too common for people to just assume that people care about their opinion. Most people don't. I'm being straight up with you. You're like random Twitter user, whatever user, 125 with the anime PFP. No one cares. You don't have really any influence. But there's this habit where people just act as if their opinion is law and nobody else's opinions matter. Like, obviously, you might not care about Phantom Blade Zero, but there are a bunch of people who do. And I see this all the time, particularly in gaming. Nobody cares about this. Nobody asked for this. Obviously, that's not true. So we need to get into this habit of just saying, you personally don't care about this thing. You personally didn't ask for that thing. It might be more lonely that way to think that you might be alone in that opinion, but it is an accurate statement to make. You personally don't care about that thing, which is fine. You don't have to. But other people definitely care about that thing. So let's keep that in mind when we're having these gaming discussions. Everybody, nobody. Let's not do absolutes. Everybody definitely doesn't agree with you. Nobody is definitely not an accurate representation of people who care about a thing. Should Insomniac create a mode where we can customize our suits? They should. I don't know if they can, because that's a Marvel thing. Now, Marvel allows customization in some games, usually mobile, but they don't allow it in all games. So it's something Insomniac could potentially do, but the customization will be limited. But it's something they have to get Marvel's approval of, because Marvel can be weird like that. Insomniac has a good relationship with Marvel, so they could probably get away with doing something like that, because they kind of are already doing it. They kind of already did it in Spider-Man 2 to just a much smaller degree. Like, before you got a suit, that was just it. The suit was the suit. You can mix and match the suit powers in Spider-Man PS4, but that was pretty much it. But in Spider-Man 2, they took away the suit powers, but added suit variants. So you get a suit, but that suit would come with different color variations, but not all the suits. You notice that, like, it was mainly like original or comic suits that would have the different variants, whereas like the movie stuff, you couldn't change it at all. And that's what I mean about a license situation. Like, especially for certain movie suits, because when you get into the movie stuff, that's not a purely Marvel decision. You know, it's going to be a back and forth. Like, it shouldn't be a problem, but there is some corporate red tape nonsense tied up into it. Like, they're probably not going to let you change any MCU suits or Sony straight up movie suits. But for like the Insomniac suits or the comic suits, I can see them expanding on the customization in future games. What's up, Spire Hunter? I'm good. Do you think Suicide Squad live service is a good choice? Based on what I've seen, it's a great choice. They've done it correctly. The problem with the live service thing is that most people don't even know what live service is. They don't understand that most of their games that they love have a games as a service model to some degree. And there's nothing inherently wrong with a games as a service model, because again, the overwhelming majority of gamers support it. It just always comes down to how it's implemented. Like, no one had a problem when Arkham Knight was selling season passes for additional content because they liked the game and they wanted to play more of that game. So when they were offered the chance to get more from that game in exchange for money, they took that opportunity. But for some reason, when it comes to Suicide Squad, they're offering you the same thing, the chance to continue playing the game with more content, except instead of charging you for it, they're giving it to you for free. All of a sudden, it's now a problem. You know, and that goes to what I'm saying about people that just don't understand. Like, there's a lot of really low information people and a lot of people that are actually just intentionally lying about Suicide Squad because they just wanted it to be another Batman game and it didn't get it. So now they're just trying to sabotage it. But there's nothing wrong with what the model that they're doing is. They're saying you have a complete game at launch, and then you're going to get new playable characters, new weapons, new missions, a bunch of new stuff, new maps, all this stuff for no additional cost. It's just delivered to you. Just like God of War Valhalla was delivered to you. As an owner of Ragnarok, they're delivering a bunch of extra stuff to you. No additional cost for the next year. And the only thing that costs money is a battle pass, which also has a free tier. So you could play Suicide Squad. You can get some costumes. You can get some emotes and different trinkets. You can get 4 new playable characters, new maps, new weapons, all this cool stuff, and not spend $1 more than what you spent for the initial game. Like if you got the standard for $70, or you paid the extra for the deluxe, you can get all that stuff, costumes, cosmetics, playable characters, maps, weapons, stories, content. You get all that, and you don't have to spend any money at all beyond what you spent just to get the game. That's it. And there are people complaining about that. If you don't want to spend any money, if you don't want to spend any extra money on Suicide Squad, you literally don't have to. The only thing extra is cosmetics. And they're completely optional. They don't affect the game in any way. There's a free tier on the battle pass. But if you do want some of the stuff on the premium tier, then you just give them some money. And that's the thing. If you got the deluxe edition, you only have to do that because it comes with a token. So you can just get the deluxe edition, get all the content for free, wait for a battle pass that has stuff that you really want, like maybe whatever is on whatever's coming with that Gotham update, and you can use your token and get the whole battle pass for that season. You don't have to spend any money at all. I also don't like how people complain about having to buy the good skins in the game. Yeah, it's this weird entitled generation that like everything needs to be free. Like they've obviously, these are obviously not people who work jobs or who run businesses because people who work have no problem spending money on their hobby, and people who run business before understand that stuff costs money. You have to keep in mind your overhead, your expenses. So they recognize the value. But you have these new gamers that are just like, oh, why does that cost money? Like, because someone was paid to do that thing. How do you think games are made? They spend tens of millions of dollars to deliver you a product that only costs you 70. If it's Swiss Sky, you want to play as King Shark. Yeah, I'm definitely main in Boomerang. I'll play through with every character because they actually incentivize you to level up everybody. But we all know Boomerang's the best. State of Play is definitely happening in the next few weeks. I'm just here because one of the potential days the State of Play is dropping is tomorrow, which would mean the announcement would be happening today. But it could be next week as well. The point is that we know it's coming. It's just that we don't know which Thursday it's dropping on exactly. But we do know it's coming. And we have an idea. I know some of the stuff that is definitely going to be there, but you can guess just by looking at PlayStation's upcoming games. Harley, for you, if Harley has the skin that I want, that she should have, then I'll put some more time into Harley. Her gesture outfit is really good, but if I don't see Harley with the Arkham outfit, I'm not doing it. I need that Arkham outfit. Ever since Avengers, everyone doubts good superhero games. Even before Avengers, that's what a lot of people don't remember. Fans initially were hating on Spider-Man PS4. You remember telling somebody on Reddit that if $70 is hurting you, then don't buy it, and what's called the bootlegger. Exactly. Like these are these weirdo TikTok generation people who have no money, who think everything should be free. They think they're being edgy and everything. I'm like, no, you're not a freedom fighter. You're just broke. But before Spider-Man PS4 came out, a bunch of people were hating on that game. They were not dissimilar from what you're seeing in Suicide Squad. Oh, nobody asked for this game. Why didn't Insomniac just make Ratchet and Clank? I want a Spyro game. Nobody asked for this. They're gonna ruin Spider-Man. What's that design? Why is that spider so big? That spider design is trashed. Oh, Insomniac ruined Spider-Man. This game's gonna suck. Look at those puddles. They're not puddles. The graphics are going to be terrible. Oh, that means the performance is going to be bad. Oh, look at those puddles. The game sucks. The game sucks. The costume sucks. Oh, this is going to be bad. Insomniac ruined Spider-Man. And then Spider-Man PS4 comes out and just everyone's just relentlessly dick riding as soon as it becomes popular to do it. Like it's insane. Boomerang's fade was looking clean. Any insider? Green Lanterns too. Why isn't Harley Quinn extremely thick? There's already plenty of that. There are people who are convinced that Harley's is ugly in Suicide Squad, and I think they're blind. just because she's not showing her cleavage doesn't mean she's not attractive. A waiting room is a room where you wait for something. In the physical world, a waiting room usually applies to, say, a doctor's office, where you go into the room and wait, fill out some paperwork before you're called into the main doctor office area. In a digital context, a waiting room is usually a gathering, usually a stream, or it could be a forum where people hang out and wait for a specific thing, like the announcement of a video game. What games are coming for what platform? Like a prison outfit to start with. The prison outfit is great. Her prison outfit is great. The gesture outfit you get with the pre-orders is great. She had a couple skins that I saw in episode 3 that look really cool. You actually know is going to happen? You don't. I do. I know for a fact a state of play is happening. Yes. I just don't know the exact date. I'm only making an educated guess on what the date is because I know it's a Thursday. I know it has to be at a time where they can promote some of their upcoming games, such as Helldivers 2 and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I just don't know the exact date yet, but I know tomorrow is a possibility. That's why I'm hanging out, keeping an eye on the PlayStation Twitter account, just in case they drop something. I'm probably going to be hanging out till 2. And then if they announce the showcase, the state of play when I'm not live, I'll just do a video reaction. Or I'll just do a super news bit, just a short video, give you a recap, telling you what you need to know. Imagine an Ant-Man game. That actually would be cool. I wanted Ant-Man as a playable character in Marvel's Avengers, because I thought his hero kit would just be so much fun. But a whole game could be interesting, for sure. Which console am I on? I have a PlayStation 5, but I'm very close to buying an Xbox. Need the Margot Robbie fit? Oh, for sure. The original one, right? The one from the David Ayer Suicide Squad movie. Spider-Man Game Plus news. Yeah, that's definitely going to be at a state of play. They got to have it there, because that update is early 2024, so it just makes sense. DLC, that one is less certain, but New Game Plus update, definitely something they would announce at the state of play. Avenger game was bad. It wasn't bad. There were aspects of it that were bad, and there were aspects of it that were good. Avengers, the thing about Avengers is that it's much better than the critics give it credit for. Well, not even critics, like haters give it credit for. Because the problem is most of the people who talk about Avengers to bring up how bad it is didn't actually play it, or they were like pretty much there for maybe that launch day. They tried it for a couple hours and then just stopped. So they don't actually understand like really anything about it. That's why when people talk about when they talk about like a failed live service game, they're bringing up Marvel's Avengers because they don't really know a lot about live service games and their history, and they just assume Marvel's Avengers was like the worst live service game ever because that's what they heard on Twitter. But in reality, it's not even close to true. Like, first of all, Marvel's Avengers sold extremely well that first month. It was actually the second best-selling superhero game of all time, behind, at that time, only Spider-Man PS4. But because of the fact that they weren't allowed to delay the game, they had a bunch of stuff. They had a bunch of bugs to fix. They had to delay a bunch of the content. So they lost a lot of momentum and they never fully recovered. But they still were able to release updates consistently for the next 3 years. It had some bad infrastructure problems, but the reason why Avengers lasted as long as it did is because Vince Napoli, pretty much. Like, I think people who actually played it can agree. Vince Napoli's combat design is the primary reason that Marvel's Avengers lasted for 3 years. Because even though the end-game content was pretty much non-existent, even though the DLC updates were too short, even though the online could be buggy, especially with the raid, it was just fun to just hop on the game and be Thor or be the Hulk or be Black Widow, because all the characters felt like those characters. They all felt like they were in their own solo game. So people would literally just hop on for a couple hours and just fly around with Iron Man, blow some stuff up with Thor, and just have a good time. They absolutely nailed that. It was just the rest of the stuff around it, they couldn't put it together. People still play it. The funny thing is, like, if you're gonna bring up a live service game as an example of a game that's like terrible and was a disaster, first of all, Avengers was more successful than Anthem, and by far the biggest live service disaster was Babylon's Fall. Like, it's not even close. Not only did Babylon's Fall just look bad, within a couple months of it launching, it was down to one concurrent player on Steam. One. Literally, one person was left playing that game on Steam within a couple months of launch. I'm not exaggerating. One concurrent player was recorded on Steam for Babylon's Fall a couple months after this live service game, which was also released by Square Enix, just like Avengers was. One concurrent player. Not long after that, they announced they were shutting it down, turning the servers off. So if you bought Babylon's Fall thinking it was going to be a live service game that was going to last, within a couple months, it was down to one concurrent player on Steam and was shut down by the end of the year. The only worse live service game than that was The Day Before, which was straight up a scam. Like, everyone's basically saying it was straight up a scam. And that shut down within like 3 days. But Babylon's Fall was like an actual game, not a scam, like an actual game released by a $1 billion company as a live service game. And within a couple of months, it had one player and was shut down by the end of the year. And people will tell you that Avengers was the biggest live service disaster, the worst live service game. It's not even close. That's true. Out of all the live service games that you can say failed, Avengers was the best one in terms of success and quality. like people need to like do their homework. There's no way Avengers is close to the worst live service game. In fact, Avengers actually had over 4,000 concurrent players on Steam after it got its last update. It got its last DLC in March. That was the last update. They had announced it was shutting down and delisting at the top of the year. March was the last update. After that, at one point, it had over 4,000 concurrent players on Steam. People still play Avengers to this day. It's nowhere near the worst. State of Play can be announced anytime. I think the actual State of Play is going to be either tomorrow or next Thursday. And they usually announce those the day before. That's why we're just hanging out. I'm just hanging out until 2. They did Deathstroke for season 3, Gotham Saga. I'm pretty sure Deathstroke should have, if we're going with what the character should have. I know in the comics he's got the wingsuit, so I think that's what he should have. I feel like Avengers could have been good if the combat was unique for every character. It was. That's why it was good. That was the best part about it. Because Deadshot already has a jetpack, so you got to make it like a little unique. Avengers would have been good if it was built in Unreal Engine instead of Foundation. If they had made up their mind in 2015 that they wanted to make a live service multiplayer game instead of halfway through development. And if they had been given like an extra year on the delay once 2021 happened. Because they only got a couple month delay, which was crazy in hindsight, especially with all the delays Cyberpunk got. And that still ended up, being a disaster, but Cyberpunk still ended up releasing that year. Realistically, Avengers shouldn't have released until like 2021. They should have at least recognized, hey, this is a global disaster. Everything's turned upside down. Let's give them at least 6 months. If Avengers had released in, say, August 2021 instead of September 20th, it says September 2020, I think it would have released in a much better state. It still would have been flawed, tremendously flawed, because it wasn't built for multiplayer. They were straining against that engine. But it would have been in a better state. Next Day of Play is in the next few weeks. On a Thursday. Nintendo 2K. There is no State of Play today. This is an announcement. That's what it says in the title, announcement. We're waiting for the announcement. State of plays are held on Thursdays, and there's going to be one in the next few weeks. It could be tomorrow. That's why I'm hanging out today, and it could be next Thursday as well. But a coming Thursday, we're getting a state of play because Sony has a bunch of February stuff that they have to promote, and they gotta have that state of play. I love and hate NBA 2K at the same time every year. I'm only playing 2K23 because I'm only playing this year's 2K because I got it for free. Like 2K is what happens when a company has a monopoly. Like, because 2K has no competition, they can just do whatever they want. NBA Live was the biggest sports game in the world at one point. Nobody was touching NBA Live. Then 2K eventually started chipping away at their fan base and producing better basketball games. And then eventually EA literally just gave up. They said, all right, we're just going to focus on soccer and Madden. That's it. So they just basically just abandoned NBA Live, put all their resources in the Madden and FIFA. They made like a couple attempts to restart NBA Live, but they never hit. 2K was just dominating. It was just too late at that point. So they just been skipping. But I would love if EA like actually did an honest attempt to bring back NBA Live and like legitimately challenge 2K. Like, that's what we need. Like how Power World is dominating right now. That's how NBA Live or another basketball game needs to. Because the reason why Power World, apart from just being fun, the reason why Power World is really dominating like it is because of how mid Nintendo games have been for the last 15, 20 years. That's exactly why. Because people just buy whatever slop Nintendo gives them, it's left this big hole in the market. And the Power dev said, hey, we're going to give them the Pokemon game they wanted, and Nintendo wouldn't give them. So on the UFL game, I don't know what that is. But games will be at the state of play. Spider-Man 2, Rise of the Ronin, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, and then maybe Ghost of Tsushima PC and the Phantom Blade Zero demo, and maybe Foam Stars. The 10 slot. Snake Eater. They could have Snake Eater there. That's definitely possible. I know Silent Hill 2's supposed to be getting a marketing push as well. But when it comes to the actual state of play, I think it will be more focused on like some third party stuff. I think Spider-Man 2 is going to be the big first party reveal. That New Game Plus update. I hope the combat will look like the trailer. That's the tricky thing. Phantom Blade Zero, the combat looked incredible, but because of the way it was presented, it's unclear if it was like actual gameplay. Like, it looked like gameplay, but because of how flashy it was, it's like, could a person actually do those moves? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, are they takedowns? Like, how much of that can you actually do? Like, in real, like, are those like takedown animations? Like, what is that? What is happening there? You know, that's the trick. That's the question about Phantom Blade Zero. If it is like, if it's not, it could be like a Sifu type of game. Because if you look at Sifu combat, the martial arts are similarly like incredible. Like, you could put together some crazy stuff, and you would think, oh, this is all just cinematic, but it's not. But it is tricky to do that combat in Sifu. So I'm wondering if it's going to be kind of like that, where you can do some really like crazy moves, but it's up to you to like string them together. Or if it's kind of just like a hit the prompt or whatever and do the move, and it does all the stuff for you. Yeah, there's some of it, like, I think most of it was gameplay, but the question is just how much of that is controlled by the player, is what the more accurate way to say. Because if you can show someone Spider-Man 2 gameplay, but that gameplay could be purely takedowns, and it will look really flashy, and it would technically be gameplay, but not like a real representation of what the combat is like minute to minute, because you're doing all those flashy moves and finishers by initiating the takedown with 2 buttons. You're not putting this move and combining it with this move and doing this move and all that stuff. No, you're hitting the input and it's triggering a cinematic sequence. So that's what I'm wondering about Phantom Blade Zero. How much of that is player input versus just cinematic sequence from like a takedown or something? That's what I'm, and I think a lot of people are going to be curious to see when the demo actually drops. At least running on a wall, yeah. I'm sure running on the wall running, wall hopping, all that stuff is, you know, that we can obviously see that's gameplay, that's the player. But all those crazy, like all that stuff they was doing, I don't know about that. I don't know if someone's actually controlling that. I feel like some of those might be parry animations. Just looking at the, because I watched that trailer a couple of times. I feel like those might be parry animations. That's what happens when you do a perfect parry or something. They just turned off the HUD. Yeah, like QuickTime is, yeah, similar to that. Like if you time your block or your counter correctly, it triggers this cinematic sequence. That's why I'm wondering if that's what it's like. You hear there's a state of play happening today. You did not hear correctly, but there is a potential state of play announcement. A state of play is coming in the next few weeks. It could be tomorrow, it could be next Thursday, but a state of play is definitely coming. We just don't know exactly when the announcement is happening. That is the only thing. We know it's happening, we don't know the exact date. When you parry 2 guys and that flash away, couldn't have been finishers, you just hope most of it gameplay. I don't know. What other brute characters do you want to see alongside King Shark? I guess he would technically be a brute character. Bizarro. That's the only one I want. I want a Bizarro. Ideally, I want a Bizarro that doesn't use guns, because I basically just want to have excuse to be Superman in Suicide Squad. How do I know there's going to be an announcement? I didn't say there would be. I said that there might be a state of play tomorrow, in which case the announcement would happen today. I know a state of play is happening. They have them on Thursday. I looked at the calendar, saw, oh, the 25th is one of those potential days. And if they're going to announce it, it would be the day before. That's why we're here. Oh, they announced it on the Twitch stream. They haven't done, I feel like they haven't done that stream in a while. They don't announce things on Twitch anyway. Like that. They announce stuff like that on their socials. But pretty sure they're gonna wait for the state of play to announce the new game plus. Otherwise, it would just be on their Twitter. They do a blog or something. Yeah, the announcement could happen anytime, but the state of plays themselves happen on Thursday. I haven't played Avengers in a while, yeah. Dave Parser is OP. Yeah, then February seems like the most likely date for the Spider-Man New Game Plus update. We'll take a perfect parry with that animation over it just being a cinematic. You should control the prompt. Yeah, yeah. Obviously, it would be crazy if you could do that yourself, but if it's something that's triggered by a perfect parry, I'm fine with that. Because at least it's not just a takedown or something. Like, at least with a perfect parry, that's like something that you have to take skill to do. Like, you have to make sure you time it properly in order to get that payoff, instead of just pushing the button when you're prompted to. How sure about I know for a fact there is a state of play coming. Yes, I know for a fact it is coming. The only unsure thing is the date. I know it's in the next few weeks. It's on a Thursday. I know for a fact it is coming. I just don't know the exact date. But my assumption was that it would be tomorrow or next Thursday, because of the fact that they want to definitely make sure they're promoting Helldivers 2. And Helldivers 2, unless they moved it, yep, that's still February 8th. February 8th, Helldivers 2 releases. So if I'm Sony, I've got Helldivers 2 dropping on February 8th. I've got a New Game Plus update for Spider-Man 2 dropping potentially next month. I got Final Fantasy Rebirth at the end of February. And I like to have my state of plays on Thursdays. So if I'm Sony, then I'm like, okay, well, February 1st or the 25th. They could have it on February 8th, but then Helldivers 2 will be out by then. So they're not going to be able to drive those pre-order sales. Hey, Sadot the Gamer, hello. They would be cool if they did a Supergirl. Oh, that's Wonder Woman's job, apparently. What's up, B-Crack? Chilling, just hanging out for another 20 minutes. There's a state of play coming in the next few weeks, either tomorrow or next Thursday, my best guess. But there's definitely a state of play coming. So I'm waiting around just in case they drop the announcement. I thought they might potentially drop the announcement between 11 and 2, but they've announced state of plays as late as 5 o'clock before. I'm not going to hang out that long. I'm going to go get some lunch and chill, but it's something to keep an eye on. They might announce a state of play at some point today, and then the state of play would be tomorrow, but it could also be next week. What's up, Spire Slayer? So Spider-Man 2 DLC is free. It's possible. I mean, based on everything we've seen so far, I would be surprised if it was free. At least all of them, but they might. I mean, God of War Valhalla was free, which was a surprise to a lot of people. But all the Spider-Man PS4 DLC costs money. Helldivers 2 looks dope. Yeah, I'm interested in trying it. I'm always on the lookout for a good third-person looter shooter. I'm looking forward to trying out Helldivers. I still haven't watched the trailer yet. I gotta watch the trailer. The newest one, at least. I'm looking forward to trying Helldivers. I'm looking forward to Suicide Squad, of course. I'm looking forward to the first Descendant. I enjoyed that beta. What I think about the Joker's look. I think the face looks pretty good. The weapons look good. The suit, I can see why people aren't sold on that one. But I think the design is overall decent. His combat looks amazing. Can't wait to play him. He's definitely looks like he has main potential. And the other thing you got to remember is that Suicide Squad is a game where people have alternative outfits. So if you don't like the Joker's base outfit in Suicide Squad, you can change it. I'm hoping they give him the Batman Who Laughs, because that would be peak. I would definitely be rocking that one out for the rest of the game's life cycle. The Batman Who Laughs design is just so cool. And he's got the chain weapons already in the game, so it'll be perfect. Zipping around the city with the Batman Who Laughs would be crazy. Root and Atlas. Hope you heard about Black Myth Wukong. I've been talking about Black Myth Wukong for like a year and a half. I wasn't even sure that game was coming out, but finally we're getting it this summer. You used to look. I don't need to get used to look at all. As soon as they drop that Batman Who Laughs skin, I'm putting it on. The DLC character wise, I mainly just want Bizarro, Black Manta, Red Hood, Peacemaker, Captain Cold, Heat Wave, and I I think Sportsmaster would be cool too. Bizarro's my one heavy hitter that I want, despite him having to use a gun. I can ignore that because at least there are a couple of comics where he's had a gun before, so I can like squint and like look away. As long as he can fly like Superman, I don't care. What's up, Donnie? Welcome. What's my favorite Marvel show? None of the Disney ones, except for What If, and only like season 1. So it's obviously Daredevil, the best. Then for me it was Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, then the Defenders. In terms of the Disney stuff, I thought most of it was either mid or trash. What If season 1 was really good. What If season 2 was kind of mid. WandaVision was half really good, half trash. Falcon and Winter Soldier had really good production value. The chemistry was good, but the writing was pretty terrible. Miss Marvel was okay for like an episode and a half. Definitely, then it just got just mid. Definitely, but it was pretty much hard carried by Amon Vellani just being a charismatic actor. But the script could have definitely used a couple once-overs, several different drafts. Because it felt like they had only about 4 episodes worth of actual story and 6 episodes to fill. Moon Knight was decent for like a couple episodes, then it just completely fell off. Loki season 1 was pretty mid, had a lot of potential. Had a couple high points, a lot of low points. Season 2 was mid, but ended really strongly. She-Hulk was just terrible. Werewolf by Night wasn't a show, but it was probably the best thing they actually put out. It was a more of a special, and Echo was not good. It was good. Moon Knight could have been much better, and the reason why it got bad is because of stuff that happened behind the scenes, and like it's reflected in the material. You can see it. If they had a consistent creator who was there the whole time, allowed to do their thing, I think Moon Knight would have been really good. But yeah, it after like those first couple episodes, it just got ridiculous, and then that ending was just nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. Oh, we got an Xbot in here. Why is it that Xbots you can tell that obviously you can just look up the numbers and see that Sony is obviously winning the console war, like, and it's not even close. Like Microsoft is below Nintendo as well. But the way you can tell without even looking at the numbers is just look at the behavior of the Xbox fanboys. Like, they're the only ones who will just jump into a random stream about PlayStation just to tell you fan fiction about how good their their console is and how they actually were the best and how they actually didn't have all these flops and all this other. Like no one cares. Like PlayStation players literally don't care. Like PlayStation players aren't in. If an Xbox showcase is happening, the only people watching for the most part are Xbox players. Anything remotely PlayStation related happens, especially if it's a live, you're gonna have at least one Xbox player hop in to just trash PlayStation and tell them how Xbox is actually really good. It's projection. It's called, this is what we call overcompensating. If they were secure, the reason why PlayStation players don't act like that is because they know PlayStation's number one. Like it's not a competition. They know PlayStation is the most successful. They sell the most units. They have the best first party games. There's no competition. That is what it is. It's not even a debate. So they're just chilling. They're just worried about PlayStation and making sure PlayStation is still good going forward. But Xbox players are always just worried about PlayStation. They're always coming in. They have to tell you, they have to try to convince you, actually no, PlayStation sucks. Xbox is the best. Xbox made the most money. Xbox has the best games. Xbox the best. Like no one asked you, bro. No one's talking about Xbox. We're here to talk about Suicide Squad. We're talking about the MCU. We're talking about Spider-Man. We're talking about the state of play. No one's talking about Xbox. But you got him coming in like, oh, Xbox. Like we're talking about Marvel, and he comes in, oh, Xbox had the most revenue. Like no one cares, bro. Like you're weird. Like no one cares. Yeah, yes, we're good for you. You're an Xbox player. I hope one day you get some actual games so you can justify your subscription, but we don't care. There is no world where Starfield is an 11 out of 10 and people start selling their PS5s. Phil Spencer. Facts. I mean, I'm sure he didn't expect it to be a 7 out of 10 or a 6 out of 10, but or a 5 out of 10 if you look at the user scores. But yeah, that's what it was. A lot of Sony ponies care. Like no, literally no one cares. We're literally laughing at you. We're laughing at you because it's sad. Like everyone knows Xbox is consistently third place. And we're chilling. We're just having a good time talking about different stuff. You're the ones coming in talking about your sales and everything about Xbox. No one was talking about Xbox before y'all started talking. So no, we don't in fact care. We were talking about the state of play. We were talking about Suicide Squad. We were talking about the MCU. Nobody mentioned Xbox at all. We didn't even mention Blade. No one mentioned anything about Xbox in this entire stream until y'all. Because no one cares. And the sales reflect it. We don't care. Release some games and get back to us. You don't care you have both PlayStation and Xbox. If that was true, that's another cope. You don't. You have Xbox. we know you do. If you just had Xbox and PlayStation, you wouldn't be talking about ponies. The ponies was a dead giveaway. We know you're just an Xbox player. It's okay. But we don't care. Like he thinks this is like affecting us in some way. Like I just streamed the Xbox developer showcase like the other day. Like I don't care about your console war nonsense. No one, only weirdos care about the console war stuff. I just make fun of it because it's funny laughing at how weird y'all are and how serious y'all take these billion-dollar corporations that don't care about you. If Xbox has some games that I'm interested in, actually they have Power World that I'm interested in, I might pick it up. I have no problem getting an Xbox if they have stuff that I want. Y'all make hating PlayStation your entire identity. Like, it's weird. I don't care. No matter what, Microsoft, Sony, no matter how hard you glaze Xbox, Phil Spencer is not going to talk to you. I'm sorry. It's just not happening. You can go to as many streams as you want. You can post as much as you want about ponies and this and that. Phil Spencer doesn't care about you. He's never going to be your friend. Give it up. Go take a bath. No one cares. People are literally playing the PlayStation 3 more than the Series S. Like, get out of here. Like, no one cares. What's up, Captay? Let me refresh real quick. We'll go until 2. See if they got the State of Play announcement, and then I'm going to go make myself some lunch. To be honest, as an Xbox fan, PlayStation got better games. That's why I got PS5. Exactly. Like, and that's fine. Like, when the consoles were announced, because I had a PS4, I had an Xbox 360. I love my Xbox 360. Love Fable 2. Mostly what I played. When they announced the PS5 and the Series X, I was like, okay, I can buy one. Probably could have bought 2, but I'm like, let me focus on one. I was like, all right, let me compare the 2. So I looked at the showcase, looked at what upcoming games were coming to both, and I looked at all the Xbox games. I was like, okay, I don't care about any of that. I looked at the PlayStation games. I was like, okay, I need that. Okay, so PlayStation it is. That's literally what it was. That was my decision. As soon as the amount of games that I'm interested in make it make sense, then I'll happily grab an Xbox. I don't care. Why is Power World getting so much love? Because it's the Pokemon game that people wanted Nintendo to make, that Nintendo refused to make. It's an open world Pokemon with gun simulator where you can build your own base and basically civilization using Pokemon. And the combat, you can both fight the pals with your guns as a third-person shooter and real-time combat, and you can also control the pals as well. It's literally the Pokemon game people have been asking for like 20 years, and it took another company to make it. That's why it's popular. If Nintendo had just listened to the players, Power World wouldn't have been as popular. You have slaves. You're describing Pokemon. I think they actually just, I saw they passed 2 million players, which is insane. 2 million concurrent players is ridiculous. All right, it's 2 o'clock. Let me refresh again. Nothing yet. So I'm gonna make myself some lunch. I think I'm gonna have, I've been trying to switch up my meals to keep things fresh, so that I can avoid ordering takeout. And yesterday I made myself a Wagyu beef rice bowl but I use cauliflower rice, Indian style, with the spices. It was insane, bro. It might be the best thing I ever made. I had one bowl and I was done the whole day. I didn't want to eat nothing else. I think I overdid it a little bit. Because I stacked that high with Wagyu beef, but I also made an omelet on the side. I made I almost wanted to make ami rice because I was watching anime, but I was like, I'm gonna just make a sausage omelet, and I just made that, had that on the side with the beef bowl, and I felt like a caveman. Felt like an elite caveman. I was going crazy. I was ready to pass out at the end. It was so good though. You really cook something when you take that first bite and you're like, I made this? I had to pull back for a second, like, I was like, in theory, this should be banging. But I don't know. Let me try. I was like, oh. I was like, yeah, we about to go crazy on this. I have enough rice. I have enough cauliflower rice and Wagyu beef to do it again. So I think I'm gonna run it back. Anyone else decided to play as Joker? Definitely me. Joker looks like I'm a boomer man, but just looking at Joker's combat, he might be like the best character in the game. Just looking at his traversal attack, he might be like just OP. We'll see. He comes. It's only a month after launch too. We get to play him. Yeah, definitely need a round 2 on that Wagyu beef rice bowl. No announcement yet. So I'm gonna go make my my Wagyu beef rice bowl. But if there's anything, I'll check my phone. If they do any state of play announcements, I'll be sure to drop a video going over the details, and then of course we'll live stream it. But it could be next week, but there's definitely a state of play happening in the next couple of weeks. So just keep an eye out. As soon as that announcement goes live, I'll make sure that I got a video up for you guys, and then we'll stream and react to it. Then looking forward to playing that new game plus. So, appreciate everyone. I'm Sadot the Gamer, signing out. Peace.